But there we go.
I think that's enough torture on Nicky. I think let's move on and let's finish off on Arsenal, top of the league. Gyökeres on the score sheet.
Yeah.
Easy does it at home at the Emirates.
Couldn't be a better day, really, if I'll be honest. Like the Eze unveiling was pretty good. I don't know if you guys have experienced that. I don't think I've ever seen like a player being introduced before the game. Certainly not at Arsenal anyway. And it was very, very good. That kept us going. I will say this, guys. I thought first 30 minutes weren't nothing spectacular. I was a little bit concerned. I was thinking, a lot has changed. Not a lot has changed.
They could have got 1-0 up with that free header in the box.
Brilliant save from Raya. They put a couple of nice little patterns of play in Leeds, and I thought, this is not going to go too well. And then obviously we score from the corner, great corner again, and then from that Saka's goal was brilliant goal. 2-0 up, and then you're thinking, right, can we get the third to get us to top on alphabetical order? You know what I mean? Which we, but then we obviously get another, the fourth. And I don't know if you've ever been in this position, guys. You probably have, every now and then, you're 4-0 up. You just don't want to concede. You want it to be 4-0, stay at 4-0, don't concede. It looks good. But we get the fifth. Gyökeres gets a couple, which is nice. So it's 2-2 from him now, and he's not.
That's fucking stretching it, Lee. Fucking hell, 2-2.
What is it? What is it? I've got 2 goals. What about?
In the last game was 2-1. You can't start from the last game.
Look at it. It's 2-2 games.
Let's stretching it now. I'm not having that 2-2.
No, well, I am.
He blanked in the first game and he got a brace with a penalty in the second game.
Played 2, scored 2. You know what I mean? So listen,
2-1. He got 2-1. 2-1. I'm not having
what a brace. Why is it so complicated? One brace, Lee. Come on.
So so that was very, very good. And
early thoughts, just quickly on Gyökeres. Early thoughts on him, how he played. Were you liking what you were seeing?
Yeah, I like what I see. I know that he's not 100% fit yet. He's not quite as sharp as he should be, but there were certain things in the game I liked. Like I said, he's got a turn of pace, which I didn't think. Didn't know he was as quick as what he was. I think he's going to be a powerhouse. I think he's going to cause a lot of problems for lots of teams. I
heard he's just a stat padder against the bottom teams in the league. That's all I'm hearing.
Well, we shall see. You know what I mean? Listen, do you know what though? I don't care about that because that's been our problem, boys. That has been our problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not scoring and beating up teams. I don't know how good Leeds are going to be. We don't know how good Burnley are going to be at the end of the day. We don't know. 1-1, they've scored. They've both won a game. But what I would say is that maybe last season we would have won that 1-0 or 2-1. We're struggling. You know what I mean? Just to get ourselves over the line. It was what I needed to see from Arsenal on Saturday. You know what I mean? Just if we'd have won 1-0 or 2-0 and struggled to get through the game. You know what I mean? 60 minutes gone. We're making substitutions, game over. Obviously, we had to make a couple of substitutions because of injuries. That was the other thing is we lost Saka and we lost Odegaard, our two, what you would say, most creative players in the team.
You know what, Lee? I'm going to stop you there, mate. I can't. Dowman was fucking hell, mate. Honestly, I can't believe it. Do
you know what? Please, because he ain't 15. He's not 15. That kid.
This is the thing, you know what I mean. We was fortunate enough to be in the hotel in Singapore with the Newcastle players, and I had a lovely chat with Kieran Trippier, and he said he ain't no 15-year-old. He said I've not seen nothing like it. I've not, you know what I mean. I said yeah, he's 15. He goes, don't believe it, but I've got this thing. I don't know if you guys think this. I don't know if he should be playing. I know it sounds silly and all that. He's 15. The 16-year-old kids come on and score a day. It's, I've seen it with Fabregas. I know that. It is incredible that he's 15. He's still at school. You know what I mean?
I'm always I'm always one of them geezers. You're good
Shouldn't
enough. You're
you
old.
be playing against men like that? I don't know.
Mate,
He's making me silly.
What I would say is use him sparingly. Bring him off the
Yeah,
bench.
I know what you're
Not every
saying.
now
Like,
and then, because
well,
these geezers are going to start working you out, and when you start doing them tricks, mate, you come up against someone like, I don't know, I was going to say West Ham then, but definitely not West Ham, but someone like
Newcastle.
Newcastle. They'll kick the shit out of him. They'll kick the shit out of him, and you get one injury.
They did in this pre-season game, Nick. They did.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying.
And he got back up, and he got back up. What I was impressed about him, and this is the thing. I'm not, because he's an Arsenal player. If this was any kid coming on, you know what I mean, like the 16-year-old kid Rio that scored for Liverpool today. You know what I mean, like how many players would be in that position and just fluff their lines? You know what I mean, like so, took it with confidence. It's incredible. But the biggest admiration that I can give this kid is nothing phasing the confidence to just say, like, right, the ball goes 60 yards over, like, realistically, control it with your right, go with your left. He controls it with the outside of his boot, like he's playing in the school field. You know what I mean? It's incredible. And to have that confidence at that age to say, do you know what? I'm going on a Premier League. Do you know when Yeri played? When Yeri's actually younger, made his debut younger. I was lucky to be there at Brentford, but it was like safe touches that he had. He got, I think, maybe he only come on for the last few minutes, but it was 5 or 6 touches that were nothing. You know, I'll just play it here, play it there, play it back. Nothing spectacular, like, you know what I mean. But this kid, he just come on and just said, you know what, I'm gonna take this fullback on and give him a run around. You know what I mean? It's absolutely incredible what I see. 15 years of age, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know about if you. I'll go back to when I was 15. I was like, I'm August born, so when I was at school, I sort of a year, like everybody was a year above me. But when I was playing for football, I could play a year below. So I was one of the strongest in the year below when I played for professionally and things like that, like blah, blah, blah. Well, not professionally, but at a professional club. But when I played at school, I was put out on the wing. I was not in the county side, like, you know what I mean? I got in the district side, but not the county. But I was, he's not strong enough, so I was putting him out on the wing. Because I was a year trying to catch up, I found it very difficult at school and all that because I was a year behind, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, but this kid has never played at the level, the same age group he's ever played in. He's never played in it, like at school, England, football-wise. He's always played. There's a physicality of it all and all that. Like, I go back to when I was a kid and all that. Like, how does he do that? Like, you know, even when I was playing semi-professional, playing out on the, you know, I started my semi-professional career over as a winger, because I weren't strong enough to play in midfield. Eventually, I was pushed into the middle and up front or whatever. Like, but first 2 times it was, like, no, you know what I mean? We're going to play you out on the wing, like, you know. And I used to get frustrated, but I wasn't physically up for it. This kid's physically up for it at 15. It's frightening, boys. Not only is he physically up for it, he's mentally up for it, and he's got the ability.
I think we can all wax lyrical about him. He's very impressive, but we can all agree, soft penalty. It was a soft penalty. You got a bit fortunate with that one. You got a bit fortunate. Yeah, it's a bit soft, I thought. A bit on the softer side.
He's won 3 penalties. He's won 3 penalties now. Like, I don't know, you know, I mean, if you tread on someone's toe, is it a penalty? I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, but
it needs to be said.
I think that
let me ask you this: like, he's 15, right, and he's looking like right at home in the Premier League. All you got to do is cast your mind back, and you're saying he shouldn't be playing, but cast your mind back to Cesc Fabregas.
Yes, I do.
Broke into the Arsenal team. They're 16 years old. He was running midfields.
He was running Arsenal's midfield and taking the mickey out of teams in Champions League at 16. It's incredible. You know, Michael Owen's done it. Wayne Rooney's done it. Yeah. I get it. I just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the physical side of it worries me a little bit with it. You know what I mean? But listen, on what I see of it on Saturday, I know it sounds, I'm saying all this, and Saka's out at the moment, I'm saying I'll start him against Liverpool. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm thinking. Like, he's that good. I've not seen nothing, guys. I've not seen nothing like it. When he came on against Newcastle,
you know what? The only thing I worry about players like him, and we had a similar thing with Joe Cole. Joe Cole, I went to see Joe Cole in the youth team a couple of times when I was younger. And my God, that guy was unbelievable. I mean, you're talking about a real prodigy here, yeah. And the only thing that worries me is when they go in that young, because Coley came in young with us, is that sometimes they can get that coached out of them because they're still impressionable, and like someone like Max Downing, the same as Joe Cole, they're that sort of like that magician, you know, that real expressive player. You see Grealish is the same. He went to Man City. Sometimes when they're that young and they come in, you know, they'll it'll be absolutely magnificent, and then all of a sudden Mikel will go, no, actually, Max, you've got to start coming back a little bit, and then they start to lose that little bit of magic. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like Joe Cole.
100% correct. Do you know what, Nick? I'll tell you something now. I'll tell you a bit of inside info for you. Right, he's played 3 games as a wide player.
Yeah,
in his career. And
what's his actual position?
His actual position is central midfield, like number 10. He has never ever played out on the wide until he's got into the first team. So those games that he's doing, he's never played there. That, you know, is incredible. It's incredible. Like, you know, I mean, obviously they're putting him out there because, you know, like physicality wise.
Yeah.
And he's just picked it up. You know, you'd think that he was a winger. I thought, you know what I mean? Like, but he ain't. It's incredible.
Well, we had something similar with Declan. Declan was never played. Declan, when he come into our centre midfield, never played centre midfield. He's always a centre back. And he played a couple of games centre midfield because we were short. Played at centre back. That was his position, mate. Yeah, he was a centre back. And then they pushed him back in the midfield because he wasn't good enough in centre back. He was mediocre centre back. And look at him now, one of the best midfielders in the world. So, you know, sometimes Henry was the same, mate. Henry was a winger all his life.
Well, you know, like you say Cole and you know, Joe Cole was great. I can go back to when Arsenal had Liam Brady, Tottenham had Glenn Hoddle. I don't think that they was, you know, like Liam Brady might have been 17 when he started. I'm pretty sure Hoddle was probably about 18. I know it's a different era and all that. I've not. Why are they getting so young now and being? Did you think it's because they're being put in coaching at 5 or 6? I don't. It is mad when you think about it. Like, you know, like Rooney was unbelievable at 16 when he, like, you know what I mean. So
what was Stuart Slater when he made his debut for us? He played with you, didn't he, Stuart Slater?
Not sure.
I don't know who that is.
No, he was only about 16.
I played with him a little while ago in a charity game, Stuart Slater.
Yeah.
I'm sure he played for Arsenal.
Nice guy.
Kids are just growing up. I don't know. Maybe quick. Maybe they're just developing quick. I don't know. You got your mom.
One off. Mikey Moore at Tottenham now. He's about 16, 17, isn't he?
Mikey Moore.
He's 18 now.
He just turned 18.
Yeah.
And he's up at Rangers now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's at Rangers.
I think they are developing quicker, and I think maybe it had something to do with the big influx of money that went into grassroots football in England all those years ago. You know, it could be something to do with that. But back then, it was just one-offs, wasn't it? It was complete one-offs when you saw like young players coming through. But now it seems to be just regular.
We had three teenagers that come on Saturday, like, you know what I mean. Obviously with Marv, when Marv's come on, and Ethan as well, like, you know what I mean, 18 and 15.
Maybe West Ham are ahead of the game having a bench full of teenagers.
Well, exactly, like, you know what I mean. West Ham have always had a great you know, youth system bringing players through as well.
Yeah, it's true. They've always had a great academy.
So
but Lee, just quickly, Odegaard and Saka, are they missing Anfield?
Yeah, I don't know about Odegaard, but definitely Saka is. Saka's going to be out for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm really worried about that, guys, because if you look at our players at the moment, Havertz had that operation and has gone down. So has Saka. I don't think Saka has completely got the confidence with that hamstring. If you go back to this time last season, got a niggle. I think it was in an international in September, if I'm right. Might be October, but I'm going to say it was September. got the hamstring injury on England duty. Oh yeah, 3 or 4 weeks he comes back, and then further down the line, he's got to be operated on it, So I don't think these hamstring injuries have got to be rushed back. The one good thing about it now is that I don't think Arsenal need to rush him back where they have done in the past, and I think that's a problem. That if your squad's a little bit thin, I think that you can be in a little bit of trouble. I think that happened with us last season. We've got options now that Saka's not out. The one great thing about the game is that Odegaard and Saka came off, and we I wouldn't say look better. I was a bit harsh, but like we didn't sort of go, oh, the game went flat and all that. Like, obviously we want them there, but they're not. I think that I don't know about this. If the grounds are a little bit too hard at the moment, what they're doing, because the Newcastle player had exactly the same thing today, and he's had to go off, and he with a shoulder.
Yeah, he dislocated or something.
Yeah, so like where the grounds are so hard and everything like that, So I don't know, but I think Odegaard probably might miss out on it, and then I think he would be, if he does miss Liverpool, he'd be available after that, because you've got 2 weeks off after this, haven't we, for the international break.
Do you reckon Eze will make his debut?
Yeah, I think he will. I think it'd be interesting. I think that for me, if I was playing, I'd go Madueke on the right and Martinelli on the left, just to have that pace on the flanks, for the game against Liverpool. I thought that, Liverpool can be got out on the flanks. But if Odegaard isn't fit, I think Eze will come in there and just give us that little bit of extra fit. That's the good thing at the moment for us. And, when you say about teenagers on the bench, last season we had 4 that never actually got on. They were just bench fillers. I know it's nasty to say. But when Mikel looks on the bench now, there was Kivior on there, Martinelli that didn't get on, and to the players that are getting on, a lot of strength in depth at the club now. So listen, no one wants to see injuries, but I think you're going to get injuries. Everybody's going to get them at this time, and I think that the one good thing is I look at it, even with Liverpool tonight, guys. They're playing a midfielder at right back in 2 games into the season, It just shows you that maybe there's too much football being played during the summer. I don't know, but Arsenal have lost 4 players in 2 games, and we've still got a very strong bench.
Lee, I was thinking about this, looking at the squads between you, Liverpool, Man City. Man City looking a bit fragile at the back. Liverpool definitely looking fragile at the back. Got to say, with the signing of Hincapié, if you do get him over the line, and the signing of Eze, are you looking at it saying, you know what, we could actually be favourites for this league, and we might have the strongest squad in the league at this moment in time?
Do you know what? I think that this is great. I think Arsenal went favourites today before the Liverpool game today. I don't know, was that because they didn't have a right back? I don't know. I'm not.
You mean the bookies or in your own mind?
Yeah, no, with the bookies apparently they're just right favourites. And I think that because of, I look at Liverpool's bench today, there was, like that. Funny enough, they got a 16-year-old on there to come and done the business, but it's not as strong as what you would actually think Liverpool is. I think that Liverpool needs to maybe bring in a couple. We were talking about it today while I was watching the game. They've lost Nunes, haven't they? And they've let Diaz go. And of course, the player that would have come on today would have been Jota, So they've actually not. They've lost a few players and not replaced at the moment. Liverpool. I think they will do some business in the next week or so. I
also think they still need a proper 6. I know Gravenberg did a great job last season, but I don't know. I feel like they're missing. I look at Arsenal with Rice and Zubimendi. There's some real steel in there. Even the way Tottenham played Bentancur and Paulini. If I'm looking at that matchup next week, we'll talk about it more, I guess, in the preview. But I'm looking at that matchup with Arsenal's midfield up against Liverpool's. I can really see Arsenal bullying them in that middle, and I'll be worried about it.
Arsenal are going to win at Anfield. I tell you.
I thought Liverpool were very open tonight at times.
That's
very open.
You need more solidity in the middle for it to be that open.
And listen, I think Curtis Jones is a decent player, and you know what I mean. He's a Premier League winner, and you can't knock that. Like, but you know what I mean. Would he get into Arsenal's first team? I don't think so. I don't think he'd get into Tottenham's first team, if I'll be really honest. You know what I mean. So listen, I'm not
Harvey Elliott now, though.
Harvey Elliott. Yeah. I think he was on the bench today when I think he came on.
Yeah, came on.
So he could be fit, and he'll probably come into that role. So I do think that, you know, listen, Liverpool wanted Zubimendi, and you can see why. You know what I mean? If they'd have got him, so they're probably looking around. But Harvey Elliott coming back is a good thing, and I think Bradley come on as well. So I think that he'll probably start against Arsenal as well. So they'll be a little bit more stronger at the back. But I think with Liverpool, you know what I mean, just evolving a little bit, like, you know. I say it now, and I said it against Man United. I think that it's a good time to be taking on Man United early doors. Do you know what? I think that it's not a bad. If you're going to give me a time to take on Liverpool, probably now. They're a little bit
vulnerable.
Yeah, they did look a bit vulnerable. I thought they were, you know, 2-0 up today against 10 men.
Giving up 2-0 leads in 2 games.
Yeah, and they threw it away against us, a 2-0 in Anfield last year.
They threw it away against Palace as well in the Cup.
Yeah,
charity field.
Yeah, that's a great point, Nick. So, listen, I think there's a chance. I think we've got to be there and be positive. It's a good chance for us next week. But, you know,
look at Arsenal's squad. There's not really a weakness if you get Nketiah, is there? Can't actually.
If we do
squad in the league.
Yeah, I think if we do get him, I think that means Kivior will go. Like, I think that they're you know what I mean. Like, there's I think that's what they look to do, to replace because, and that was another point. Gabriel was fantastic the other day, but he's another one that's come back from a surgery. You don't want to be playing him week in, week out. You know, there are games when I know he's off to Brazil after this. He's been picked for the Brazilian squad. Like, you know, you really, you know. So we've got to be careful with a few of these players. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to keep overplaying them, like, you know. And I think that can happen it's happened a little bit. I think we've learned our lesson. I think we was a little bit too thin with our squad last year with the games that you have. So that ain't going to happen this season. Hopefully, like, you know, we're going to, you know. And at the end of the day, you need a squad, boys. I think Arsenal's 11 was as good as anybody's last season and the season before. But the reason we run out of gas is we lost players like Saliba, we lost players like Saka and whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm not making excuses, but we didn't have the players to replace it. There isn't that excuse no more. I think we've got that. And we do look very, very strong. We do look strong. I think, you know, defensively, you know, 2 games, 2 clean sheets. You know, Liverpool conceding goals at this moment, like, you know, Tottenham not conceding goals. So you look at that, and it's no coincidence. At the end of the day, they're still unbeaten in 2 games. Why? Because they've got firepower. But so have Arsenal. You know what I mean? So if we can go up there, defend well, and I tell you, one thing I do think Liverpool look very weak on today: set pieces.
Yeah, I mean, one of the goals was throwing.
Yeah, so if we can get our delivery right, you know, we could end up getting a few set pieces against them. Like, so
only Pulis would be licking his lips going to this Liverpool.
I love it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you can't score one way, you know what I mean, we score it another, like, you know. So, and listen, I think everybody would turn around today and be really honest and say, what a magnificent performance from Newcastle today. And it was unbelievable. 10 men scored both goals from set pieces. So you've got to have that in your armoury. I know people mock it and all that, like, but I think you need to. I think Chelsea against West Ham, as poor as West Ham were, and as much as Chelsea opened them up, I do believe that at least 2 of those goals were set pieces. Like, you know, so you need them. You need them.
I agree with you, Lee. You definitely need them, but I think last season you over relied on them a bit too much because you need different aspects, right?
Yeah, I know. Listen, we didn't have a forward last year. You know what I mean? So that didn't help. Like, listen, we've learned our lessons. We've got the things in. You know, that we needed. We didn't have last season, like, you know, and we've got a centre forward now. Whether people like him or not, he's a proper centre forward, like, you know. When we've got a little bit more creativity in midfield. We've backed up the Saka one because Saka, as great a footballer he is and all that, we overplay. And I don't care what anybody says. They go, oh well, Messi played every game and whatever. There's no easy games in the Premier League. You know what I mean? Like if you've got to go to like Leeds, we beat them 5-0, but there was a stage in that game. You'll probably agree with this with the Burnley game where it weren't cut and dried as a 5-0. If you know what I mean, like so. There's parts of games when you're going to have to put it in, and so look, we scored that second goal. I think in the 45th minute. I don't know when you got your second goal against Burnley, but there's a chance that it could go wrong, and in the end, you
Premier League, in the Premier League, that's happened every game,
exactly that. You know what I mean? So you've got to have play. Like say right. There was a game last season, first game of the season. 3 weeks Saka and Rice had off, and we had to play them against Wolves. You know what I mean? We win the game, but the thing is, I look back at that and go, we shouldn't be having to do that. You know what I mean? Like now we haven't got to do that. I don't want to see if they say, oh, it's 3 weeks for Saka. I don't want to see him back to it's 4 weeks. I know you think that's silly, but I say like
give him a little bit of extra time, getting a little bit of training in.
Yeah. So like hopefully Madawuk is doing really well out there, and you think, do you know what? Have another week off, my son. You know what I mean? That's how I want to see it. Like instead of going, we've done documentaries about Jesus coming back from injury and things like that. You know what I mean? All desperate for him to get. Now you don't want that. You just think like, just take your time to come back. If Odegaard's not fit against Liverpool, so be it. In comes Eze.
Yeah.
Lee, can we have it back now, Lee? Can we have it back?
What's that?
Our list of transfer targets. Can we have it back? You've had it. You've got who you wanted. All right. You've taken who you wanted. Are you done with the business now? Are you finished? Are you finished now for the summer? Can we make some bids? Are we allowed to bid for some players?
Yeah, I think like we'll let you have a free range of this year. I think there could be something with his central defender because I think we're looking to. I think Kivior wants to play. You know what I mean? He done fantastically well last season. So I think that he wants to play. He's not going to play. Listen, if you've got a very good central defender in Danzo, he's not going to play in front of your two guys. You know what I mean? Like, so we've got that. If you're a centre half, you're not going to get in place of Gabriel. You're not going to get in place of Saliba. So I think we've got to
keep. What's Cappier going to play then?
Exactly. Why do you even need him? It's just to piss us off. That's what it is.
No, I listen, because you've got so many games, guys, aren't you? Like, you know what I mean? You're he'll get game time there if it comes here. But I think Kivior played a lot towards the end of last season. Was magnificent, by the way.
I think Arteta saw the Frank masterclass at the Etihad is that we can't let him have Cappier. You can't let him add Cappier to that. That's what he was thinking. He was running scared. He's
very surprised that we've got. I think we've got to sign this young kid. I don't know if that one works as to say that it's 8 signings, and if we sign, you know what I mean. If Arsenal were to sign nine, I've never known it. It's incredible, really.
Enough now. Stop signing players.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Time for bed, right now.
Nicky, you're all right. You can keep signing. It's all right.
Just before we end the show, we forgot to go through our predictions. I'll just quickly go through them. Spurs, Man City, everyone got 0 points. Everyone predicted Man City to win. Lee predicted 2-1. I predicted 1-0. Sim 3-2. Nicky 3-0. Nini went for 2-2. Nini was actually the most positive out of everyone that Spurs could go do something against that. West Ham, everyone gets a point. Everyone predicted Chelsea to win. Lee went
predicting 5, but there you go.
Lee went 2-1. I went 3-0. Sim went 2-1. Nicky went 4-0. He was the closest. Nini went 2-0. And then Arsenal, everyone got a point as well. Everyone predicted an Arsenal win, and everyone predicted a Leeds clean sheet as well. Lee, me, and Nicky all went 2-0, and Sim and Nini all went 3-0. So as we finish this week, second game week, Lee and Nicky top with 5 points, me and Sim at 4 points, and Nini with 2 points. So there you have it, people.